Welcome to the show. This is Dime to Diamonds. We appreciate you joining us here today. My name is Jessica, joined alongside Suzanne Porsky of Phoenix Financial Group and Rochelle Harp of Harp CPA. Real quick, that phone number 918-890-8311. That website, dimetodiamondsradio.com. Lots coming up on today's show. For instance, do you think you have number blindness? Find out in just a few moments. Plus, how you can sit down one-on-one with Suzanne. But before we get to it, ladies, welcome. How you doing?
I'm doing awesome. Listeners, thank you so much for coming in. James, if you're listening this morning, all you people that have come in, grabbed your bag of popcorn, sat across the table, and let us see your face. Rochelle, I wish you were here more often because I'm like, there's real people out there.
I know. Well, I got to come the other day, so you gave me a quick call and we were able to hop over. But yeah, it's busy, which is fantastic. We love when people get to come see. And if you give us a heads up and ask, I can be there.
I know. Luckily, you answered the phone. You didn't have a client. You had like 23 minutes.
I know.
You ran over, sat down, and then you had to leave. But yeah, so we're doing great, Jess. Again, it's just so wonderful to see and meet our listeners. So, if you haven't, please do stop by. Yesterday, we had one of our listeners, and he brought his mom. She's here from Illinois. And it happened to be Nate in the office's birthday, so they got to celebrate with us and eat some cake and grab his popcorn.
Best in Broken Arrow, I'm just saying.
And I asked him, I said, hey, when's the last time you were down here at Broken Arrow, downtown Main Street? And he said, man, it's been forever. It's so neat. All of our hanging baskets. It looks like don't you think it looks like a Hallmark movie?
It does. I mean, there's music playing typically. It's just amazing. What do you think, Jess? You came and got to experience that.
Oh, my gosh. Yes, I was just going to say it's almost movie set-esque. I just picture Dean Cain. He's a big Lifetime movie guy. I just picture him walking down with some lady on his arm and they're going to dinner on a date. Yeah, very much so.
They're doing a movie. And so please, if you are a movie director, we don't want you down here. They shut all the parking from like 6 a.m. until the next day. I was like, oh wait, it looks like one. Please don't use it.
Yeah, don't borrow our seats. We have things to do and all that. Oh.
Yeah, we got businesses we're running here.
Well, unless they want to promote, Phoenix Financial Group, I think maybe we would say, oh, okay, you can maybe film outside the front door for a few minutes.
Absolutely. In fact, I will bring my popcorn maker down there.
There you go. Have your popcorn, watch them film, be a part of it all. And yeah, you hear us talk about this famous popcorn here, the best in Broken Arrow. And we invite you to come on by, grab some, and sit down and have a chat. Again, that phone number is 918-890-8311. The word trillion is everywhere. Elon Musk briefly became a trillionaire following the initial public offering of SpaceX a few weeks ago. And there are now trillion-dollar-plus companies, trillion-dollar deficits, and trillion-dollar headlines everywhere. But think about it. Can you really picture a trillion? Wall Street Journal, they helped us out here with an example saying you could stack a trillion pennies and it would take you to the moon and back twice. Wow, that's a lot of pennies. Research shows even financially savvy people are having a hard time wrapping their heads around numbers that big. So it got me thinking here, for retirees that are sitting on, let's say, a healthy savings balance, how do you see that number blindness showing up when it comes to real planning conversations?
Yeah, Jess, we were just talking about that. That has been the biggest shock for me with clients is after me 4 decades of helping people retire is that people become emotionally disconnected from their money or large numbers. Someone will tell me they have $900,000 saved for retirement and they'll say, I think I'm doing okay, but they have absolutely no idea what that actually translates into for them. Monthly income, taxes, inflation, healthcare costs, those RMDs that are looming, and how long that money is designed the way they have it set up to even last. And I tell them retirement isn't about having a big account balance. That's one of my joys is to look at people and go, do you really realize how much you have? Because you don't really need that much, but you need enough. You know what I mean? And then how is it going to work? So I know for us, it's about creating confidence. And we do that through education and telling them, hey, based on the software, based on our numbers, based on our years, looks like all you're going to need and you're going to be just fine.
Correct. I mean, I think it's one of those people get really focused on the account balance instead of focusing on the income that account can actually produce for them. And I think that's where you're talking about that education and empowerment, because there's two groups of people could have saved the same $1 million. But for one, they may live comfortably in retirement. In fact, they may be like, Suzanne, I don't even know what to do with all this money.
Right.
But then for another one, based off of their lifestyle, their expenses, all of those costs you just talked about, they may say, Suzanne, that's really just not enough. I need more monthly to make that happen. So it's really more about being able to continue that same lifestyle that you want in retirement.
Right. It's about knowing that you'll never, ever wonder if the paycheck stops before you do. That's it. You know, sometimes increasing retirement income isn't about taking more risk. It's about eliminating those unnecessary risks, fees. And that's what I talk to people about. Let me run a Morningstar report. In the word that we use in our industry is a fee drag. Let me tell you how much those investments that you're doing right now are actually costing you. Not that little number that says service charge. I'm talking about each one of those positions that you have. So, and then we talked about reducing their taxes. I love to do that and we teach people that, you know, you educate them that we can actually control their tax situation.
Correct.
They can, not us. They can.
Correct. The choices that they make, the different accounts that may be pulling from, working them together to be the most tax efficient possible, which can control one of those large expenses that they see each year.
You know, what we were talking about earlier is that I get people that are just, they're blind to the numbers that they have. They'll say, I don't think I have that much. It's like, what are you basing this on? What your grandparents have, what your neighbor has? You and I were talking about that on our Channel 2 episode. Like we have a Retire Ready every Wednesday at noon on Channel 2 over here and talking about that.
Yeah, well, we've talked many times that, you know, financial discussions tend to be taboo in our society for whatever reason. I don't know if that's from, you know, prior generations or different things. And so people really compare themselves to what they see on social media or the Donald Trumps of the world or Elon Musk, and they don't have enough money. And when reality, they tend to have
more
a
than
lot.
enough.
Yes.
I don't know if I've ever
Right.
had anybody in here that I'm like, no, you don't have enough. Honestly, I don't think I've ever seen that come across because we're also in the middle of the United States. And I feel like we have our clients are people like you and I. We attract our type and we're just average. We're not the Kardashians.
Right.
You know, and I'm not even a big box firm. I don't work for a big box firm and I'm not, you know, any of that stuff. We are real people that help real families and just live a life that they've always worked so hard for. So if you've accumulated listeners at least 250,000 for retirement and you would like a second opinion, I know Rochelle and I would love to help you. So give us a call right now at 918-890-8311 and let us build a personalized retirement readiness review for you so you can finally answer that one important question, which is, can I retire with confidence?
Knowing the numbers gives you the power to make a decision.
As they say, the numbers never lie. Again, give a call today for that personalized retirement readiness review, 918-890-8311. 918-890-8311. And, you know, because we're talking about folks with that number blindness, thinking they don't have enough or they're comparing themselves on social media or to their friends or their family. And some of that anxiety, I believe, comes from, you know, we've always heard you need X amount to retire. And then there was a number not too long ago, oh, you need $1 million to retire. So a lot of that can be a little overwhelming. And a lot of folks go, well, I've already failed at this. There's no way I'm going to have $1 million or whatever the magic number at the moment is. Well, I might have some good news for you. There's a latest headline from USA Today that says, maybe you don't need $1 million to retire after all. The article also notes that 97% of Americans have less than $1 million saved, and 82% of retirees say that they have enough money and that they're happy in retirement. Retirees with limited savings, obviously, they have less room for error, meaning one single unexpected expense could wipe away that financial stability. So, Suzanne and Rochelle, does this reinforce the idea that retirement is really more about having a plan and not reaching a magic number?
Absolutely, positively. And I was telling you this before we went on air today. This last 7 to 10 days has probably been the hardest I've ever had in the 4 decades that I have been a financial professional in whatever capacity. Whether it was a teller starting out when I was in college to where I'm at today as a business owner, there's not a single person that I have talked to that has lost a loved one that says, I will take this life without my significant other because of the money. They all say you can have the money. And Jess, they have literally told this to me, more than one family from our listeners and also workshops that have come in. You can have my money, give me my spouse back. I want to hold her hand while we're watching TV tonight. Or I want to keep living my life with my husband because we planned this whole life out was going to start at retirement. And he was 2 days into retirement and had a massive heart attack. And it's like, you can't do that. You need to talk to somebody. You know, you need to say, this is everything I have. When can I possibly retire? I'm going to listen. We're going to ask the questions and say, what does life look like for you? What do you want life to look like? Are you working too hard? Are you saving too much or whatever? Do you need to take a time out and go take that vacation? Because like I've said, with my husband having his massive stroke last October, when you're teaching that person how to swallow and how to sit up and walk, then you're supposed to leave in 2 weeks for Switzerland. We were going to go hiking and all this. You do not know. So get financially organized and live your darn life. Wouldn't you say, Rochelle?
Yeah, well, and there's many other factors too, right? Everybody thinks they can plan when they retire, but how many times are they forced to retire, whether that is from the employment side of things, the company, whether that's because they do need to take care of a elderly parent, or even maybe the spouse, like you said. But that procrastination of, I can do that tomorrow, I can take that trip tomorrow, I can spend time with my kids tomorrow. Well, tomorrow never comes. Right. So making that decision to be not only proactive, but very strategic with your time.
Every day we're taking our time and we're exchanging it for $1. You can't ever buy time back.
So it's one of those, set up the plan, and if the plan needs to change or something happens and you need to make a change, you're already halfway there with, hey, Suzanne, this is what I have, this is what we were talking about, but we need to see, can we do it a little sooner? Do we need to wait a little bit longer? What are my options at this point in time?
Right.
And it's not an emotional decision if we've already walked through a lot of the steps.
Man, go out and have fun and laugh a little.
Yes, live.
Even though our episode's really kind of dark right now. But yes, that's what I want to tell people. I'm like, take a deep breath. Gosh, you know, you're going to be okay.
It's reality, really. I mean, we unfortunately live in a society where we live to work, right? We don't work to live. I mean, it's just one of those things where I think a lot of us are, you know, just kind of working so hard, we don't even look up to realize that there's a whole life to enjoy, especially as you start getting up in years and you go, you know what? Okay, it's time for us to kind of enjoy the fruits of our labors here. Let's go out and do these vacations. Let's do this. And tomorrow's not promised to anybody, but the whole point here is, guys, don't wait so long to enjoy what you have sacrificed for, and that's your retirement. That's that money. That's that income. And this is all part of that conversation, helping you get financially organized, helping you become educated, right? That is the key in empowering you in your retirement. That phone number, 918-890-8311. 918-890-8311. That website, of course, dimetodiamondsradio.com. Coming up in just a moment, are we headed for another 1929 stock market crash? We'll find out in just a moment.
We often hear the words retirement and annuity used in the same sentence, but it's important to know that not all annuities are the same. If you're not sure, it may be time for an annuity x-ray. Suzanne Porsky at Phoenix Financial Group can review your annuity, then explain the good, the bad, and all the fine points in between. Call Suzanne today at 918-890-8311 and schedule your complimentary annuity x-ray. That's 918-890-8311. Get more details at dimetodiamondsradio.com.
When it comes to retirement planning, many women are asking for something different. We want to be heard. We want clarity. And more than ever, we want to work with someone who truly understands how we think and how we make financial decisions. And that's where Suzanne Porsky of Phoenix Financial Group can help.
Hi, I'm Suzanne Porsky. For years, I've worked with women who want more than just a generic plan. They want a plan that reflects their life, their priorities, and the way that they approach money. Women, we think differently about retirement. We ask different questions, and we want to understand the why, not just the numbers. We want a collaborative conversation. We don't want another lecture. At Phoenix Financial Group, that's exactly how we work. When you sit down with me, we're going to start with a conversation. We're going to talk about your goals, your concerns, and what matters to you most. Then we're going to look at ways to help protect what you've built. We're going to organize your finances and then create a strategy together focused on dependable income in retirement. So whether you're planning on your own or navigating a life transition or simply just want a second opinion, you deserve to be heard and you deserve a plan that makes sense to you. So if you're a woman who wants to work with a woman, someone who listens, understands, and puts your needs first, I'm offering a complimentary retirement review. There is absolutely no obligation, just a chance to get clarity, ask all the questions, and feel more confident about the road ahead. You have worked so hard for your independence. Now it's time to plan retirement on your terms. So call me today.
Call Suzanne today for your complimentary retirement review at 918-890-8311. That's 918-890-8311. You can also visit dimetodiamondsradio.com. Welcome back to Dime to Diamonds. We appreciate you joining us. 918-890-8311 is the phone number. Anything we talk about that kind of raises that red flag, or maybe you're thinking, you know what, now's the time. I'm ready to get serious and proactive about my retirement. Well, Suzanne is here for you. 918-890-8311, dimetodiamondsradio.com. A financial reporter who spent years studying the 1929 stock market crash says a lot of the same warning signs are showing up today. CNBC's Andrew Ross Sorkin spoke to 60 Minutes.
The crazy part about this is from 1928 to September of 1929, the stock market was up 90%.
When you say the stock market was way up,
Right.
Immediately I think of now. Are you scared?
I'm anxious. I'm anxious that we are at prices that may not feel sustainable. And what I don't know is we are either living through some kind of remarkable boom, and part of that's artificial intelligence and technology and all of that, or everything's overpriced.
Or we're reliving
1929.
Oh, dear Lord. I mean, anxious is just, that's a perfect way to describe it. Would you guys agree?
Yes, absolutely. Just positively. I know that history doesn't exactly repeat itself, but it absolutely rhymes. The technology changes, the headlines change, politicians change. But what I have discovered is human behavior. It doesn't change. Fear, greed, overconfidence, panic. Those are exactly the same today as they were nearly, a century ago. And that's why I have found successful retirement planning isn't about trying to predict the next market correction, but is preparing, as Rochelle says, and we talk about being proactive for whatever comes next. So our clients don't ask us to predict tomorrow's headlines, that's for sure, but they do ask us to build retirement plans that can withstand good markets, bad markets, inflation, recession, healthcare, and the costs of that, and higher taxes. And then, of course, what we talk about, the unexpected life events and the widow penalty that's out there. So hope is wonderful, but hope is not a retirement strategy. So listeners, if your retirement plan only works when markets are cooperating, then you don't have a retirement plan. You have a market prediction. So if you would like to know how your current plan would perform through another major downturn, call me today, 918-890-8311, and let's stress test your portfolio before the market really does it. Wouldn't you say?
Correct. And I think it's one of the biggest mistakes that we see typically with people in investments are they make emotional decisions.
Yeah.
And so, coming and getting that analysis done can help you understand what may or may not be going on, what could happen. But then we don't have to worry about predicting what may or may not happen. It's a plan in place, and we know that if this happens, we're going to go that route. If this happens, we'll go there. So it's all already set, and it's not that fear creating a decision, and permanent decisions typically have permanent consequences.
Right. I was on Schwab Network Trading 360 last week with Marley Caden, and we were talking about that off air about the market. And I said, to be honest with you, I have seen fear and greed trash somebody's portfolio more than I've ever seen a recession or anything else. And, they're saying that typically when a recession actually manifests, when it hits, you lose 40% of the portfolio value. And that's what I have to do is ask my clients, are you ready to lose 40% of everything you've accumulated? You've got to get a plan in place. You've got to get the education behind this. You've done a fantastic job accumulating it. Now let's preserve it. Let's protect it. let's be proactive because life is life. It's going to life. You know, I can't believe I just saw the gas prices this morning. I'm like, what the what?
Yep.
We're back up again.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh. And if you know where the money's coming from and you're not going to run out of it, you're just like, well, that kind of stinks, but I'm okay.
Right.
That peace of mind. So, yes, I totally agree with what he was saying. And, you know, is it overpriced? Are we in some historical boom, some miracle or whatever they're calling it? I don't know. What really matters is that you're sitting at my conference table today. This is what you have. So let's protect it and direct it and let it serve you for all that you did to accumulate it.
Yeah, you talk about protect it and direct it. I mean, guys, here's the deal. Again, market has been at all-time highs for the past 3 years. I think that's caused a lot of people to have blinders on. They forget what 2008 felt like. And listen, if you were one of those in 2008 and you had to make up those losses, you remember that gut punch feeling. And if you don't want to go through that again, or you don't want to go through it at all, this is where the stress test comes in, guys. It's complimentary. See what you have and have a no-so plan, not a hope-so plan for retirement. Again, this complimentary stress test, 918-890-8311. 918-890-8311. You were talking about the gas prices right now, Suzanne. You know, we're all feeling that pinch, and it's not just when you're at the station filling up. When energy gets more expensive, it shows up everywhere else, and that feeds inflation. If you want more of an explanation, well, Billy Bob Thornton, his character on a Paramount Plus TV show, that show Landman, he's here to join us.
You want oil to live above 60 but below 90. And don't get me wrong, we're still printing money at 90, but gas gets up over $3.50 a gallon, it starts to pinch. It hits 100, every product in America has to readjust its price. $78 a barrel, that's about perfect. You know, it brings enough profit to keep exploring, but it don't sting as much at the pump. Unless, of course, you're in California. I mean, they tax the out of it out there.
I mean, could you have said it any better? I mean, Billy Bob Thornton for the win there. How often should you be stress testing a plan for this kind of inflation that we're all feeling?
Every day. Yesterday.
Every day. Whoa.
Inflation doesn't send you one big bill. It just quietly raises every bill. And like you said, it's not just at the pump. Those are groceries, utility, insurance, healthcare. The yard guy, he's like, well, it's costing me more to pull my trailer and get my lawnmower over here. So, I mean, it's all over. So I get a lot of times just people saying, I don't know why my money doesn't go as far as it used to. And I'm like, it's that quiet inflation that's eating away at it. So, and that's why every retirement plan, we always include inflation stress testing. And we ask questions like, what happens if inflation does stay elevated like it is right now, is what I feel. And then what if one spouse requires care, or what if the taxes increase? Can the income, can your paycheck, or whatever, some of these crazy systems they come up with, they go, this is our plan, because nobody taught us what to do after, like, were we turning into paychecks? I don't know about you, Rochelle, when we're sitting there and they go, I don't know if they put it on the wall and they take a dart and go, we're going to do that account first, because there's no rhyme or reason. I'm like, how did you pick that account? And they go, I don't know. It just seemed like that one that's down the street, it's been there the longest at that bank. And I'm like, okay, we're going to leave that one alone.
Yeah. No strategy to what might happen when you take that out. Is that the best one? But sometimes that's because they don't even know all the accounts they have.
Oh my gosh. It's like I was just telling you guys before I went on air, just today, in just one of probably 4 appointments that's going to happen with this family, I'm taking 20 accounts and turning them into 4, because we're taking all IRAs, putting it in one IRA, all the Roth, putting it in one Roth for him, all for her, all her IRAs into one, all the Roths that have accumulated over the years into one. So we go from 20 to 4.
I can't imagine that was overwhelming before. How much more simple is that going to be now, right?
I'm like, I don't know what you're going to do with your time, but you know. So, hey, listeners, if you haven't reviewed your retirement income plan in the last 12 months, this is an excellent time to stop what you're doing and give us a call. Or if you want to get financially organized, you want to bring all your little puzzle pieces in a box, in a bag, or whatever on your phone, come and sit at the table, and we will start asking the questions and get you financially organized. And I'm excited for them. I mean, like this family here, I'm excited because over the years, and then if you've got multiple, they're not, but a blended family, I see a lot of that. They're like, oh yeah, I got my husband when we, first administration, I got his 401k, and then this is what I did with it. And Yeah, a lot of those conversations are just bringing it all together and getting organized.
That's really the first step. And Suzanne, you said this the other day, and it really kind of resonated with me that we pay people literally to come in our homes and organize our pantry or organize our garage or whatever, right? We want all the bins, we want everything with labels all over them, perfect. Well, why not use that same concept when it comes to your retirement versus just having, a folder of weird statements and envelopes you haven't opened? Don't you want everything organized so you know exactly where it is and exactly what it's doing for you?
Yes, absolutely. If this is you and we're talking to you and you want to get financially organized, what normally is going to be $1,500 is absolutely free. We do not charge anything. You just tell us you're from the radio. Let us know. We'll let you come in. We'll have this complimentary, as many as appointments as it takes, at absolutely no charge. And you go anywhere else to any other company like this, it starts out about $1,500.
There you go. $1,500 fee waived just for our listeners here today. Call 918-890-8311. 918-890-8311. That website, dimetodiamondsradio.com. From accumulating your income to maybe passing it down as inheritance. We're going to get into that in just a few moments. We'll be right back.
In retirement, you'll be writing two kinds of checks. The fun ones to pay for things like nice vacations, and the not-so-fun ones to pay for things like your tax bill. Fortunately, a good strategy can help minimize your tax obligations, leaving more money for your vacation budget. Sound good? Call Suzanne Porsky at Phoenix Financial Group to talk about tax strategies in retirement. 918-890-8311 or at dimetodiamondsradio.com.
The cookie cutter approach works well if you're making cookies, but not so well when you're trying to plan for retirement. If you want a customized income strategy, call Suzanne Porsky at Phoenix Financial Group today. Call 918-890-8311. That's 918-890-8311 or go to dimetodiamondsradio.com.
When you retire, the paycheck from your job will likely stop. But here's what won't stop: bills, taxes, and medical issues. Sure, there's Social Security, but that may not be enough. Suzanne Porsky and the team at Phoenix Financial Group can show you how to develop a new stream of income that can last as long as you live, kind of like having your own personal pension. You won't have to worry about whether the market is up or down or who's sitting in the White House. You can spend your time instead on the things that matter, like family, friends, and doing the things you never had time to do before. Call Suzanne today at 918-890-8311. That's 918-890-8311. And schedule a custom income review at no charge to find out where you stand now and how Suzanne can help you build income in retirement at 918-890-8311 or online at dimetodiamondsradio.com.